Hey there, it's me again. So in this second video that you're watching in this folder, actually it might be like the third or fourth one if you watched the dog videos and the howdy videos that I've got in there that are much shorter than this. But anyway, as I mentioned in the syllabus video, this is going to give you some clarity, hopefully, answer some questions that I'm sure I left open-ended in your mind when I mentioned the reaction paper assignment that we do weekly when we covered it in the syllabus very quickly in that other video. So anyway, so this reaction paper assignment is the same assignment that social problems students do, sociology students do, and cultural geography students do. So I'm showing you the cultural geography opening page behind me on the screen. And so you see cultural geography here, but if you're in sociology or social problems, if you're face-to-face or online, you're still watching the right video. You're getting the right explanation for our assignment called a reaction paper. So I'm just going to click on the course content link to take us to the place where you're going to find all of your stuff each week during the semester, all of the new lessons. So every time a new lesson opens up, you'll see a folder here. And so the one that we're going to start with is the course logistics folder, the place where you got this video in the first place. And so this folder is where you're going to see the reaction paper and quiz guidelines. That's what it's called. These are the rules for you to follow to be successful on reaction papers. Now, let me say that reaction papers are 100 points total, but you slowly work on it over the course of the semester. So you might have noticed on the syllabus it says that it's 100 points, you get 10 points at a time, but there's 17 opportunities to do it because I built into the semester 7 different times that you can skip it altogether, or if by chance you do a reaction paper and you don't get credit for some reason. If you don't get credit, it's maybe because it's definitely because, not maybe, definitely because you didn't follow one or more of these requirements that I'm about to go over with you. If you follow these requirements, you get full credit. 10 out of 10. If you don't follow these requirements, you don't get credit on that reaction paper, and you just simply pick up the next week and do one that does earn credit, okay? So there aren't any makeups or anything on reaction papers. It's designed for you to skip 7. Sometimes you accidentally skip 7. Sometimes you skip one here or there because you just completely forgot about it, which is just fine. You get grace for that. Sometimes you have to skip one because your internet is out at the house, or you had to take somebody to the emergency room, God forbid. Those are, terrible examples, but they happen sometimes. And so if you have to miss one because of an unfortunate circumstance, or if you have to miss one just because you kind of forgot and you just flaked out like we all do, no problem. That grace is built into the semester. So you have to do 10 to get full credit. They're 10 points each. We have 17 opportunities. You choose the 10 of the 17 times that you want to do a paper. A lot of students start off right the very first week and they keep on going for the first 10 weeks of the semester, and then they take some time off. They put their feet up a little bit toward the end of the semester and don't have to do any more. So whatever you want to do, that's up to you. You set your goals. If you already know there's going to be a time when you're out of town, when you have company coming, when you have to babysit or whatever, if you already know you have something planned this semester, if you know that you are probably going to be out to have a baby, or you are going on a cruise because you won it on Wheel of Fortune, or whatever it is, those two things happen, with us. And so if you already know that those things are happening, then plan it right now for that to be a particular week that you are intentionally going to skip one of your reaction papers, because you don't have to do one every week. So that being said, in order to get credit for the ones that you do turn in, what a reaction paper is you have to watch the videos in the weekly lessons, and you have to take notes on these videos because you're going to use those notes to do really, really well on the projects that we have. Projects are big points, 100 points each. Reaction paper is 10 points, but you're going to kind of get credit. What a reaction paper is, it's your opportunity to get credit for watching the videos and taking notes, because what you need to do is summarize the notes in paragraph form after you've watched all the videos. And as long as you have 300 words. There it is. Number 4 on the list here is that it has to be 300 words. And you have to talk about the weekly content. So if it's week 1, you have to talk about week 1 topics. If it's week 8, you have to talk about week 8 topics. If it's week 12, you have to talk about week 12 topics, and so on. So you have to talk about that particular week's topics. It has to be 300 words. And you can simply summarize what we've talked about that week, so that it's just like a review, and you get credit for the time that you spent watching the videos and taking notes. Also, the reaction papers, when you do it that way, it helps you do better on the quizzes, which we'll talk about in just a second, because the quizzes are the same way as the reaction papers. You have to do 10. We have 17 opportunities. So anyway, we'll talk about that in just a second. So you come up with the topics from the weekly lessons. You don't have to summarize everything, because maybe just 1 or 2 topics that we covered gets you to 300 words. So you can stop, and you don't have to cover multiple topics. If one topic stuck out to you and you want to react to that, you want to discredit it, or you want to applaud it, you want to agree, or you want to disagree, or you want to ask questions, use your reaction paper to do that. And when I read it, I will give you feedback on those questions, and I will affirm or deny some of your thoughts and feelings about this. I will offer you, some feedback about every single one of your reaction papers. Sometimes the reaction paper is just going to be like, hey, great job during week 6. That might be the length of the feedback, but other times it's really long, and I'm going to give you some meat to kind of chew on and to consider, in response to what you've said about our weekly lessons. And so 5 of the 10 reaction papers, this is another, number 6 on this list here, 5 of the 10 reaction papers that you do over the course of the semester, you have to include an outside source that you thought of organically, kind of, or that I suggested during one of the lectures. Sometimes I suggest outside sources. A lot of times it's movies, it's books, it's TV shows, it's song lyrics, it's a news story, a current event that's happening, something like that. It's anything that I have not assigned to you. Your textbook reading assignment is not an outside source. If I assign you a video to watch that I did not make myself, like another YouTube person or something from the library that I put in our course intentionally for you to watch it, those things are not outside sources. Outside sources are something that you come up with, or that I suggest in a video, that you can incorporate into and relate it to the topics that we have discussed in class. Social structure, for instance, in sociology class, is a major topic that we discuss. And so a student might want to talk about Hunger Games or something, and talk about the way that society is structured in the Hunger Games or something. That's a good one for culture geography too. So anyway, we're going to look at that kind of topic, like social structure. We're going to look at different kinds of social relationships. And in all of the classes that we have together, or that we potentially are enrolled in together, what you will do is learn about life, learn about society, learn about how you fit into it, learn about how social structure in general affects us. And you will, when you pay attention, you will realize that news stories, movies, books, song lyrics, poetry, etc., all of these things were written or performed by somebody in society like you, and they were probably reacting to something in society that we're going to talk about this semester. So anyway, that's what an outside source is. It doesn't have to be scholarly. You don't have to cite it professionally like your English teacher wants you to do. I do need you to cite it with enough information that I can go and find it myself. It has to be citable. If it's somebody's Instagram post, you have to be able to at least take a screenshot and send it to me with your paper, so that I can refer to it myself and verify that you haven't just made it up. And so it can't just be about a personal conversation that you have that's not citable. You have to be able to show me the news story, tell me the book, whatever. But 5 of the 10 times that you write a reaction paper, you have to thoroughly discuss how that outside source relates to the topics that we had in class that semester, that week, that week. So 5 of the 10 times. There's 17 opportunities, and every week, you have to write about that particular week. If you wait and you don't do it week 1, and then sometime in week 3, you say, oh, gee, I really want to write about week 1. Too late. You have to write about week 3 in week 3. You can't go back and make them up. Okay. So if you skip a few at the beginning of the semester, which a lot of people do, those are going to count against the 7 that you can skip. Okay. So you can't go back and make up something that you've skipped. Okay. So reaction papers are 10 points at a time. 7 skips are built in to the reaction paper assignment. And so I can go ahead and answer your question now. No, you can't make up a reaction paper because you're supposed to skip some of them. Okay. And sometimes you will accidentally skip it. Sometimes it will be because of, a circumstance beyond your control that you had to skip it. And so don't fret. Those skips are built into the semester so that you don't have to worry. It's not going to count against you. Just set goals, get them done as regularly as possible, as soon as possible, so that if something unexpected happens that keeps you from your homework, who cares? It's not going to count against you at all. Okay, so set those small goals for yourself. And I know this was fast, but please go into the course logistics folder. Let me show you again under course content. Here's the course logistics folder. You click on it and you will see this list of stuff that has been behind me during this video. Read it carefully. And if you have any questions, please text me. But I hope that everything is clear from this video tour of it, sort of tour, or the typed out information that I have listed there for you, and with, all caps letters on some things to make sure that you see that it's 5 of the 10 reaction papers must include an outside source, for instance. Okay, so that's all about reaction papers, and in the next video we'll talk about quizzes. See you then.